Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for coming today. Now, to get straight into this, the IMU library has actually quite a lot of resources, and particularly for psychology, a lot of students are actually not aware of where to find these resources and what to do about them. So let me just invite you to go online to the IMU library webpage. And once you're there, you'll see this page. Okay? So are you all at that point at this moment? All right. So let's talk about one of the key characteristics first that I would like to focus on. The first one is on e-books. As you know, nowadays, it's a bit challenging to actually get textbooks that are available fully in printed form, and therefore we have to rely more and more on e-copies. But I just want to remind everyone as well that you can actually access the IMU library e-resources if you have an active internet connection and obviously your IMU email and password are still active. So you can access it off the campus as well. So first thing I would like you to do is just click on the ebooks, right? And in particular, go to number 10, eBrary. And then it will prompt you to log in. Are you all there? Okay, go to ebooks, go to number 10. Okay, yeah, just log in. Okay, it'll come to this page. Now here, obviously, you can scroll down, you can choose certain particular areas of science that you can search on. However, what I would like you to do is go to the simple search at the top here. Over here, and type in psychology, but let's make it fun. A lot of students have expressed interest in forensic psychology, so let's type in forensic psychology. And then click search. And what you may end up with is this page at the bottom here. And actually you'll find about 8,884 documents over there. Now these are full books, full textbooks that are available. So you could actually use this sometimes as resources for further reading. If you don't have access to the textbooks, you can find particular textbooks. May not be the exact ones that your lecturer would want, but nevertheless, it has the resources for you to have the soft copy of it. Now, obviously, this number is very large. You can cut down your search by using these terms, okay? But for the purposes of today, just click on forensic psychology, the first one, and see what pops up. So this is an example of a particular textbook, right? And what you would see then is this page. And this is very tempting, available for full download, which actually it is. And all these resources on eBrary are available for full download. However, let me clarify this statement here. Okay, you can check it out for 14 days, which means that once you have the full version, after 14 days, if you have an active internet connection, it will detect that you have used it for 14 days, and therefore you will stop having access to it. You can only have it for 14 days. Now, students have also asked, so wait a minute, after 14 days, can I re-download again? The answer is yes, but what happens is, according to, I've checked with Mr. Rasman, it can only happen after 4 weeks, where your account is reset for you to be available for downloading the same source again for another 14 days. Okay? In the meantime, though, you could click online. If you read it online, everything is available for you to read. Having said that, there are also particular pages, a certain number of pages that allow you to copy, or a certain number of pages that allow you to print. And that is a bit of a limitation. Typically, it's about 25% of the length of the whole textbook. Yes?
When you say they're allowed to print it, does that have any copyright issues or such?
You're allowed to print, but again, the limitation is maximum of 71 pages. So the publisher allows you to do so for particular contents in the book that you may want to access. It's not for you to download the whole book and to print it, and therefore that's why there's a limitation in the number of pages. So you can have, for example, when normally you get a book, usually you're interested in a particular chapter or particular topics, within the book, and therefore you only access those things, and therefore the publisher allows you to print or copy those particular pages for a certain amount. Again, the idea is not for you to reproduce the whole book. Thank you, it's a good question there. Okay. So if you click on Read Online for a moment, just click on that button. I want you to see what else is available there. You should come to this page. Give it some time to load. It may take a bit of time, right? Because it's the whole book there. And obviously, you can search within the book on particular topics. But another thing is, I want you to be familiar with these buttons. I want you to put your cursor over each one of these buttons and see what pops up. Okay, the first one, what does it say? Full download, right. So that goes with the same idea that you can download for 14 days as well. The second one, chapter download. So that downloads just a particular chapter. So it kind of saves time for you. So especially if you're searching for a particular topic, that's very, very helpful, right? The third one, copy. Right, so remember there's a certain number of pages that's allowable for copying, right? And then after that, there's print and all that kind of stuff as well. So again, you have 458 pages of the whole book. Keep in mind the number of limitations in number of pages that you can have access to in terms of copying or printing. All right? And again, if you download it for 14 days where you have full access to it, it will be deactivated after 14 days. So after 4 weeks later, then you can get access to the full 14 days again. All right, so we get very smart and targeted in what you actually want to take upon within the book itself. Now, just for fun, what you could do is go back and search for a textbook you are interested in, not what I've shown here, but something you are particularly interested in. See what comes up, see what kind of resources the library has that may support your research, for example. Okay?
I have a question.
Yep, yes.
When you read it online,
Yes.
can you read everything?
Yes, you can read everything online. Everything's available. However, you have to scroll and you got to wait for it to load. So
Does the printing and copying also resets after 4 weeks?
Yes, the answer is yes. Basically, after 4 weeks, things go back to the start again, so to say. Now, if you notice, again, as part of your research, sometimes you have to access books, right? And this is a very valuable resource for you when you can access the books to supplement definitely the journal articles, right? And therefore, it's another source of information that you can get towards. Yeah, could you go ahead and make sure you can access it and give it a try, if you can. Any questions on this particular section before I move on? So let me just go back to the earlier page for those who just came along. Okay. Sorry. Okay. So the first thing I would like you to do is, for some of you who just came, just click on Ebooks. And after that, go to number 10, eBrary. Then it'll prompt you to log in. And once you do that, you reach this page. And this page, just do a simple search and find the books that you would like. All right? So how do you find this helpful? You found some resources that may be helpful for you? Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, in the interest of time, let me move on to the next section. Okay, just want to give you an overview as well on eBrary. The eBrary itself is not a publisher, it's an aggregator where they compile resources from the different search engines, right, and come together so it gives you this initial search of what you're looking for. Now, of course, it comes from different publishers with slightly different rules sometimes. So each one will have a slightly different requirement, so to say. But again, you can narrow down your search, and this is very, very helpful. Now, moving on. Yeah, so I mentioned this again. You can download the full text, was only active for 14 days. And after that, you have to wait 4 weeks before your So they say it resets again, your account resets again for you to download it for another 14 days. So be specific in what you like to copy or print, or just read it online, right? The full version. Now, there's another link that you could click on, number 15, Ovid Ebooks. Could you do that? Just go back to, yeah, just click on number 15. Now, here is a bit more specific. You've got to go step by step on that one. Once you go here, click on subject, the green area. Click on subject, and then this will pop down. Then click on behavioral and social sciences, and then click on psychology. That's how you access it, because this is a bit more, you've got to find your way in how to find these resources. All right, so subject, the green button, subject. Then you have behavioral and social sciences, followed by psychology, and then click on that. And here, I think you'll note about 23 books that are available. Again, not as wide, right, as the resource before eBrary, because the eBrary is an aggregator. It compiles from other resources. And maybe not as wide for now, but there's also other books which may be different or may be similar. In order for you to increase the chances of you finding a textbook you want, click on both eBrary as well as Ovid eBooks and search within those areas to see if you could find that particular book, right? Now, if you click on it, just click on any one, you'll find that it's actually all in soft copy, not in PDF format, which makes it a little hard to read. So what I've been informed is that from 2017 onwards, all the books will come in PDF format, but not as of the moment. So I think right now, eBrary is a better bet for you until 2017 comes along, and then you can access both of these. Okay? Again, these would be great resources for your classes, right? Especially when you do additional reading besides the recommended textbook by your lecturers. All right? Now I'd like to bring your attention to the online databases. So you go back again to the main page and click on online databases. I'm going to show you 3 different ones. And from there, I would like you to click number 7, EBSCO-host in particular. Then follow this sequence, number 7, EBSCO-host, and then click on research databases, right? Dentistry, Medline, and psychology. Once you click on this, then you've got to scroll down all the way to psychology and behavioral sciences collection. That will finally bring you to this point to do your search. Again, it's a little unwieldy, right? So you can scroll all the way down, you should see it. So this limits the search particularly to psychology. And of course here, you can type in your keywords, whatever you're looking for. A particular topic and or, for example, or excluding a particular area or field. There are further searches to limit in terms of years, right? In terms of, is it full text and all that kind of stuff as well. So just do a simple search, particularly on your thesis or your area of interest. Just do a quick search right now and see how many things pop up. Just keep in mind that every time you use the word "and," you reduce your searches. You're more specific, but you reduce it as well. Sometimes suggestions will pop up for you in order to help you out. So just type in some words, some keywords, and see what pops up. And okay, now from there, yep, you should find, lots of search results. Okay, and on the left, you could click on limit to full text, for example, and peer-reviewed, which will be very, very helpful to make sure it's more journal articles rather than newspaper articles. Yep, and you can limit the years as well. Is it something that's quite recent, maybe in the past 5 years or so? You can change the slider to actually compensate for the years. Right, so just go ahead and log on first and do that. Now, obviously, if you see a PDF sign there, it's a full PDF that you can download from. Okay, so that's not a problem. But some of them may come in different formats. Right, okay, some of you may find a green sign called Full Text Finder rather than a PDF. if you see that green icon, just go ahead and click on it. Right. So what can happen is it'll bring you to another site. And for this particular site, when you click on the link that's given to you, it should bring you to the full article. All right? Yeah, click on that one, yes. The ones with the green icon, full text finder. So when there's no PDF full text there, there's other options for you, and it should bring you to a different place as well. Again, how it works is because it is not within its own database, it searches other databases, and therefore it goes to other areas as well. So you have great access to this. All right, so a lot of students use EBSCOhost. It's very, very helpful, but it's not everything. Sometimes your particular area may be uniquely, how should I put it, so specific, which may not be covered in such a database. Again, I invite you to go to another one, which is quite popular as well for psychology, would be number 14, ProQuest. So if you were to go back to the main page, click on online databases. Now, number 14, ProQuest, go to click on social sciences. Here, at the end here, there's a picture of social sciences. When you click on it, then over here, the psychology database. Okay, so it's not so obvious again. Just go to the right, you see the picture, social sciences. When you click on the picture, then psychology database comes up. Okay. Now, if you had used some search terms before, in terms of what you search in EBSCOhost, try the same search terms here and see what comes up. It may be similar, it may be not. That's why you want to cover these databases. I know it's a bit of work, but this way you make sure you cover practically the web and what's been available out there to make sure you actually get the resources that you want. Are they exactly the same? Not exactly, right? Yeah. So again, you can search and limit down the searches. Yeah, you can use and or the Boolean terms as well in these areas. Now, obviously, this area, this ProQuest is used a lot in the arts, health, medicine, history, and all that as well, science and technology. So psychology, you just got to search a little bit in order to get that database. Okay. Now, just again, in the interest of time, I would like to move on to the last online database to show you. It's called ScienceDirect, and that's number 16. Again, these are the three main databases which actually have a lot of psychology-based content. So number 16, ScienceDirect, and then click on Advanced Search because the search that shows up is very simplistic. Click on the small Advanced Search button at the bottom, and you will come to this page. Again, similarly, then you can have more details and limit your search as well. Again, I invite you to actually put in the same search terms as you did before and see what pops up. Now, pretty much if your particular area of research is so specific, you should be able to find some additional resources in any one of these three databases because they have different, how should I put this, algorithms to search and therefore would pretty much cover most areas. But there's no guarantee that it will cover everything though, because there's nothing that covers everything. Particularly in foreign languages, I don't think it covers that as well. So English primarily, and therefore you can get these terms. Okay, so the three areas, anyone, can you repeat for me which are the three main online databases? Can anyone remember? And what numbers were they? Okay, number 7 was EBSCOhost, that's good. And then the next one was ProQuest. Well, what number was that? 14. As of the moment, things could change in the future. And then the next one is ScienceDirect, number 16. All right? Now, if you cover these 3 areas, pretty much you're safe. Okay? Now, there may be times though, after doing all these searches, after doing all this work, and yet you still haven't found that journal article, you still haven't found that book you want, right? What do you do? Come to the library. Mr. Rasman, you want to stand in front of the camera to let everybody see the man who actually can help you. But before that, I want to help him out because he expressed to me how, although he can help you out, the problem that IMU students have been doing, oh, I can't find, oh, I go and see him, right? Whereas we could actually do things for ourselves first before going to him. And I would like to help him out by going to something simple first. Please, 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 everyone. It's kind of like if you submit assignment, please use spell check, right? Same thing here. Before you give up on your search, go to Google Scholar. It's not everything, but usually, by chance, by luck, you may actually get access to an article that, for example, that is not available, okay? Or you have limited access to, but this somehow is available online and it's free, okay? The chances are very, very high. Mr. Rasman, what's the percentage, would you say, the chances of success if you use Google Scholar? Well, 50-50, but that's better than if you had 0. You just had an abstract. So 50-50, you increase your chances significantly if you could use Google Scholar by yourself first. So first choice, first option, please, before you come to the library, go to Google Scholar. Okay, highly, highly, highly recommended. Search for yourself. More than likely you would find it. I've had a lot of success using Google Scholar on this aspect when I couldn't find the articles I wanted. Second option, when you find the title of the journal, or sometimes even the author, you may be brought to something called ResearchGate. And ResearchGate is kind of like, oh, I don't know, Facebook for researchers, okay, where they actually have their journal articles, all the things that they publish on their site. So what can happen is this. You could go to the ResearchGate site, or the author or the particular title, and when you go there, automatically you can get a pop-up saying, okay, here's the journal article that you want, or sometimes it's not so easy, you may have to request for it. Okay, so you have to write a very nice note to the author. Wow, I'm impressed by your work. I really want to have full access to this. I want to possibly replicate. I would like to collaborate with you. It's just an example. Right, it's write a nice note to the author, and then you have to wait though. You know, because that's on this part is not automated. This is the part where it's very human-based interaction. When they have time, they will reply. Now, of course, I've not had anyone not reply and I say no. They've always given it out, okay? But you may have to wait. And sometimes based on time limitations can be quite frustrating for you. So now, let's say Google Scholar, you can't find it. ResearchGate, you got it, but you have to wait and you don't know when. Third option, help. Particularly in this case, Mr. Rasman, okay? And I want to show you how you can search for help. Rather than go ahead to see him directly, you can actually do it online, okay? For example, this front page, remember this one where you had the Ebooks, online databases and all that? There's a thing called Contact Us, right? And when you click on it, down here you say Article Requests, okay? And when you click on it, just go ahead and click on it. There'll be a bunch of questions on what information do you have about the particular journal or book or something, and then you fill in the relevant information as much as you can, right? And then send an email and it will go directly to Mr. Rasman, right? And he'll do his best using his library magic, right, to actually find ultimately the journal article. Now, more than likely it will be interlibrary loan and all that, but the point is don't worry about that. It's a free service. There's no charge to you, but please, please, please do your work first, right? So go to the eBrary, go to the online databases, all 3, go to Google Scholar, try ResearchGate, and then finally go to him. Okay? Yes?
What if the article that we request, since we can't find it everywhere, and we didn't subscribe to it? As in the university doesn't subscribe to it, then how do you...
Okay, I faced these issues before in the past, and the libraries basically have something called interlibrary loan. Okay, and so if our university doesn't subscribe to it, more than likely another university does. And so they kind of have that kind of like exchange program kind of thing going around. Okay, again, I don't have to talk too much behind the scenes as long as I get it. You know, that's the most important thing. I think that's where the students and the end user finds it most useful, right? So ultimately, I just want to what are the chances of success of getting, I mean, it's not necessarily 100%, right?
If the article is a recently published article, maybe we can get it.
So,
if the article is quite old, then
okay, quite old means like what? Because I know from IMU, the most databases are subscribed from what, 1995 onwards? 1996 onwards. So sometimes some journal articles, the key ones are earlier, and if the earlier ones...
The earlier ones, that below 96 is quite difficult.
So below 96 is quite difficult, okay. But more recent ones...
More recent ones, most publishers, most of our library contacts, they have access. So we don't have any difficulties so far.
Right. And then as a lecturer as well, for your journals, your literature review, usually we like the last 5 years, right? So last 5 years, the most up-to-date journal articles, a particular area in a particular topic, that's what we want from you. So that way, you shouldn't have any problem then. Okay, that way. All right. Any other questions or concerns? I mean, I have Mr. Rasman here to help me out as well. Any questions, concerns, comments, feedback from your particular experiences? Yes.
For the initial part, when we talked about downloading a book.
Yes, downloading a book,
So
yes.
if I save the book on, let's say, hard disk. You said 14 days and
Yes.
So I save the book on the hard disk and I just use it offline. So it won't be.
Okay.
Okay, good question. Here's the response.
If you're not connected to the internet, then that document will be saved in your personal devices forever. If you're connected to the internet, I don't know how, but the publisher will detect it. They will remove the content automatically. There's a certain system that they use. I also don't know.
So you don't need to record this.
But this is actually a general information for everyone.
Okay. Thank you. Good question. Any other comments, thoughts, feedback?
What about the usage of EDS?
Okay, what about it? What do you mean? Okay,
Would it
again,
be easier to use it rather than
you mean just go there straight?
one by one?
Well, remember about lifelong learning? Things that we're trying to incorporate in IMU. Okay, so self-directed lifelong learning is the idea that it's not when, I run into a roadblock, I just like, hey, can someone help me? But let me try to get the resources myself, to learn the way as much as possible first. And that's why I've given you a whole long library list, laundry list, so to say, of what to do.
EDS is our own search, it's not.
Oh, yes, okay. For the EDS, I don't have it up here actually. Can you help me log on? Can you, yeah. For EDS, thank you. I didn't put it up because there's a pro and con for that one. Okay, so the EDS is where a search whereby it's a very simple tool that you can use. You just type in this particular search and it scans everything within the IMU databases, everything across the board. Okay? The catch though is this, because it's so convenient, you may almost like give a false sense that, okay, if it's there, that means it exists. If it's not there, that means it doesn't exist. Or this idea, this topic, this resource is not available. And then you stop there. Okay? Whereas if you go through what I've shown you step by step along the way, ultimately, right, you still want to find your own way to, one, get the access to your own resources, Google Scholar as well, and as well as Mr. Rasman to help you out. More than likely, you would get the resource. Because when I looked at this, right, the tendency is I'm going to get what I can here. And if I can't, then I'm not going to include it in my research. So that gives a false sense that, oh no, if I can't get access, I'm not going to include it, I'm not going to be up to date though. But because I can get access to it immediately, conveniently, I will stop my search. So it's a very useful starting point, but I'm not particularly keen on this due to, for academic reasons. Because especially when things are new and up to date, right? This may not include all current new databases, primarily because a lot of the online databases for particular publishers, they're only available up to the last year, the previous year, I mean, because they still print the bound copies, right, the hard copies, and those are available right now. And they'll only release it and put it up online 1 year later. So if I can't get access, oh, you know what, I won't search. But the newer research is the one that tells you what's the new direction, where to go, what new cutting edge is that needs to be done. So I like this as a beginning point sometimes, but I try to avoid it personally. Okay, but thank you for that. It's a really good one as well. Any more questions that you may have? You want to say anything? Okay.